Well, it's been quite a while since we've seen this screen. Let's load this up. Okay, so it's been quite a while since I've touched this game at all. So yeah, well, I'm back now. There's a lot of reasons why. You could find like a more detailed version in the community tab on my channel if you want a little bit of a more in-depth analysis on that or whatnot. But essentially I left because KSP2 came out. I just didn't have the system to support it, and I switched over to War Thunder for a bit, but it got the views that I wanted, and it was a fun community to hang out with. But as like the years went by and like school started to get more important into my life and all that stuff, I had to spend time with my studies, friends, girlfriend, and all that kind of stuff. But I just kind of fell off. It fell off. I switched channels for a bit, went to play Minecraft. Did that for the majority of when I left, but that started to get slowed down, and I realized that my heart lied where I originally started. As you can see, my voice is different again. I know puberty can hit at different times for different people, but right now I'm still me. I still have the same personality. But today what we're gonna build is a space station. Wow, what a surprise. It's a single launch space station, so it's not like in a crazy length video where I have to launch everything, dock everything. Plus I haven't really like quite gotten back into the groove of playing this game. So I don't know if like my rendezvous skills have gotten better. Suddenly this footage is 10 times more fast. But this station is basically like a welcome station. Kind of like in the spirit of me coming back, I realized like if we send like interplanetary missions throughout to like other places, or when we get mods, especially you could look right now, it's the restock mod that we have, to make everything look so much nicer, because I mean this will probably be as close as we could get to KSP2 ever, where it's like a welcoming station where we could bring back our crews and then they could come back here to get some rest, extra fuel if they want to take it back to Kerbal for some reason. But yeah, it was basically like sort of in the spirit of what is going on in my life right now. And yeah, this is pretty much the idea of the video. I was planning on using the rotors so that the proportions weren't as stupid looking, but it's Kerbal Space Program. I'd rather go with the stupid looking than the realistic looking, and that's realistic with a quotation mark because nothing in KSP is realistic. But yeah, we've gotten a couple of the new visual mods. I had to reinstall quite a lot of the mods as well. Yeah, that's the fairing. That's the fairing we're going with. Yeah, trust the process. It's gonna end up fine later, but here we are building the main rocket. I haven't touched even rocket parts in quite a while because before I left for other games, I was using BD Armory, and of course I still have a little bit of knowledge. I know how to do a lot of things, but this is pretty much like a get back into the groove video for me, because it's just so much fun to play this game with these new mods as well, because it just makes everything so much more interesting. And especially the restock mod is one of my favorites because it just makes everything look so much better. Like, yeah, I can't speak right now, but yeah, the rocket design, we end up like changing this a little bit later because we have a lot of stuff that went wrong with this. I mean, it's expected. It's my first rocket in quite a while, but I mean, this wouldn't be my first time rebuilding a rocket, because sort of, if you've checked my kerbalx page, which has been in the description of all my videos, I've been messing around with some cool looking builds. You should check them out. I'm actually really happy with how they turned out. But even that was still quite a long time ago. And I'm just trying to get back into the groove, especially with the new mods. I can't really know which pieces are which, but I still remember a lot. But here we are launching the rocket. Yeah. The main difference between this one and the other one that you saw in the video clip before is that it has a much higher thrust weight ratio because it has 2 more engines, which boosts it by around 25% if my calculations are correct. If they were correct, my math skills has improved. If they weren't correct, I've stayed the same. But I digress. Anyways, this is my first orbital launch I've done since, what, 6, 8, 10 months ago? Like 3 months ago, yeah. Like, I had that one Starship video after the launch that happened a couple days ago. Even like the catch that's gonna happen in a month, that's gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see how that turns out and if SpaceX actually succeeds in doing that, because that's a huge step forward in terms of approval from the government, as well as in terms of success. It's a lot more marginal to some people, but really is a huge step. I've kind of figured out this way of doing gravity turns where I just either I'm reading a book, I'm watching a video, or I'm having a call with my friends. I just spam click D whenever I feel like it, and then it ends up becoming a pretty good orbit. And yeah, it's mostly eyeballing at this stage, but it just makes everything like so much easier on my part, especially after coming back to this game as well. Like, a lot of stuff in my life has changed, like new school, new house, all that kind of shebang. Everything's still going well. Yeah, I have a bunch of new friends. I'm planning to like immerse myself in more of like the extracurricular activities as well, because this is advice for a lot of people that feel like they're really smart and they could just go off of that. I'm telling you right now, that's not enough, because like 5th, 4th, 3rd, like elementary, middle school years, they're like pretty much based off of two things: either you're really smart or you're really athletic, or you're just stupid, which I've had my fair share of encounters with those kinds of people, not just online but like in my own school as well. But you need to be able to master both fields, and that's kind of what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to play basketball as time goes on and I get gradually better and better. But yeah, I've improved a lot since when I first started playing. I'm planning on starting like a vlogging channel where I put like my basketball videos, like my school videos, all that kind of stuff. But for now, this is the main channel. I love it. I never leave you guys. I've been checking on this channel like every couple months. I haven't really responded to comments because I'm waiting till I've returned. But yeah, that's just pretty much what it is. Here we are, finally making our gravity turn a little bit more increased in terms of scale, and the proportions it has compared to the rocket itself is actually stupid. It's like the width, the height's okay, the width is absolutely questionably horrendous. At least that's one way to put it. As you can see, my vocab has also improved. Good for me. But yeah, we want our surface speed to be a little bit faster than that, and before we actually start our gravity turn to be like full 90, 45 degrees. And I know my Apple Apps isn't pretty high right now, so I'm kind of waiting for it to become like 70, 89, somewhere in the 70 to 100 kilometer ballpark, because that's where a good orbit is. I'm aiming for a little bit of a higher orbit though, because of, again, for the purpose of this mission, where it's for interplanetary ships coming back. And I don't think if I'm gonna be that smart and put extra fuel on, so I don't want them to have to spend extra fuel. There we go, the first stage is spent. It was kind of underwhelming to me. I thought it would take us a little bit much farther, kind of like how the SLS first stage pretty much puts the ICPS in orbit. But yeah, there's the fairings, and we can see the station in full light. There is one mistake though in the build, like this is a tragedy that you could see later, and it's absolutely horrendous when you look at it. It looks really great, I'll give you that, but just don't look at the bottom. As you can see, that we have another space station in orbit. That one's kind of just more of as a research station. I hope that these orbits are far enough apart that they won't meet each other, because if they do, that's a big problem that I don't really want to have to deal with at that point, because I don't want to have the threat of those two like crashing into each other if and when we have to interact with them again once we rendezvous. But yeah, we're warping to our maneuver node right now, and it's still pretty slow, but the mods, they just make everything a lot better, and I think that's as close as we'll ever get from KSP1 to KSP2 now that KSP2 has been canceled. Now I don't feel like the burden of the algorithm on my back anymore, because if I post KSP1 videos, they do absolutely horrible. Like, when KSP2 came out, the videos that only did well were BD Armory videos, and even then those were a little bit stingy, or War Thunder videos, and those still did really well because there's no War Thunder 2. But yeah, here we are finishing our circulation. This is very important that we get this right, and of course I made the huge mistake of warping past when I was supposed to start, so I have to, you know, kind of adjust it by myself, and the orbit now ends up being unequal with one side. The apoapsis is much bigger than periapsis, and I don't want that to happen, because the apogee and periapsis, I want it to be pretty much exactly the same, but I know that's like not gonna happen in my first mission back from like 3 months of not even playing this game. And even that mission was a little bit hard for me because I hadn't touched the game in a while. But yeah, this is basically what it is now. The station is looking pretty good. The orbits are looking pretty aligned. I'm hoping that this works, because if it doesn't, there's a problem. I also forgot to put a reaction control wheel and a control unit on the second stage so that I could deorbit it, so that's just staying in orbit. This wouldn't be the first time I've done that, and it definitely won't be the last. Maybe I'll do, like, at the end of the year, we'll do like a roundup video and find all the missing pieces that I've just left in orbit. But here we are getting everything oriented. I think the flag was probably the most laziest job I could have done. I just put welcome back on a Photoshop screen with comic axis. It looks fine, and I'll take it because it's all right. But yeah, the station is pretty like small, and I wanted it to be small because from the start I knew it would be a single launch, and if it was any bigger than that, the fairing would be a little bit bigger, and I didn't even want that to get even close to what it is now, and that makes it a lot more complicated than I thought. I filled this thing to the brim with Kerbals, probably because I don't care about life stability for them. But yeah, I'm not just gonna be conservative, but yeah, there's the problem I was talking about. I forgot to put a module on the bottom. It could have just been like a cupola or something, but no, it's just blank. I'm gonna have to, like, probably next video, I'm gonna have to bring someone up to take that out, because that's just gonna bug me my entire life. But yeah, that's pretty much the station in its final form, I guess. It's in orbit, and it's in a pretty good orbit. If we ever need to move it, I'll move it, but for now I like where it is at, and yeah, it's pretty good. I'm proud of what it is. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself of doing this after being away for 3 months. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully not in another 3 months, but like 3 weeks. I'm just kidding, 3 days. But bye.